Froggy, you can't do this anymore. You can't miss your appointments. Got it?
But I want to go get some ice cream.
Too bad. Hello, everybody. My name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show today. For what? For No, it's Superman and Lois. Not Spider-Man and Lois. That'd be weird. But yes. So, with Superman and Lois, Season 3, Episode 3, and oh boy, good episode, but a dramatic one as should I even get right into it, Froggy? By the way, this is Froggy. Say hi, Froggy.
I want my ice cream, you son of a bitch.
Too bad.
This is why we can't have nice things on this channel. If somebody likes to hog it all for himself.
I don't look weird with hair. It's just exactly how I should have looked.
Holy crap! You look like Tom Hanks. You look like Tom Hanks' son.
What is Tom Hanks' son?
The guy from the OC. He's also. You watch Jumanji? Remember the original? Not the original, but the reboot. Remember it? This was the kid that was all growing up. At the end.
Yeah. So.
I think his name's Brody something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can't remember his real name either. Colin no.
Colin Hanks.
Is it Colin Hanks?
I think it is.
What an interesting conversation. Anyway.
Yes, let's talk about some Superman, baby, and some
Lois.
Lois, yes, and
So we all know Lois has cancer.
But the story comes first with Lois because she's too afraid to go and to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah. So Superman's having nightmares where it's so funny because we just finished The Flash, which decided to have an entire episode about dreaming. And somehow still it was better symbolism with dreams in this episode than that.
But this nightmare is important because this nightmare is where we got the clickbait trailer of Lois dying.
Yes.
Because Clark is basically having his dream now because he's dealing with the fact that he can't save his wife.
Yeah, he kind of can't do it.
With all the kryptonic technology and the supervision and everything in college, just give me comic book logic, you think he might be able to use a heat vision and just burn it out a little bit. The cells, they're bad.
But that's not how it works.
No, because this is CW.
No. You can't just laser vision.
He's done it before. He saved Lois using heat vision.
From cancer?
No, but she got shot. A bullet.
That's different. You're cauterizing a wound.
He went actually did surgery.
Oh. So, here's what I'm going to go. I was dipping back in. These shows audience seem to have halved from the usual 4 or 5. Well, it depends. Sometimes we get some more. But anyway,
we're also running up against an auction and some fossils. It's a very tough crowd.
That's right. It's a busy night.
Citizens are getting more views than we are.
So here's the thing. Lois is missing chemo. That's what she does a lot during this episode. And that's not it's kind of her avoiding it, but also she's trying to stick to the story, trying to go ahead and get what's tied to Bruno.
It's a very Lois thing. Mannheim. She's bullheaded. We get to see basically other side stories going on here is that Jonathan's girlfriend, he gives her a ride home from work, the diner, and her dad notices his Jonathan's new truck and gets really shady about it. Jonathan's truck gets stolen. He asks her about it, and she gets offended because, because my dad, we're poor, thief. Turns out Jonathan was right. He was involved.
See, but he understands why his girlfriend acts that way, and his girlfriend does rightfully apologize.
Yeah, yes, and Jonathan goes to apologize at the end, or he's got something to tell her. Basically, he's going to apologize, not apologize to her, but basically come out clean that his ex-girlfriend kissed him and tried to give him a present, try to get back with him. So he's coming clean, being honest. We'll see how this works. Maybe he gets dumped, and we don't see this girl ever again. Who knows? The other side story is that basically, Lana is becoming more and more of a bitch.
Oh my gosh!
I've been saying this.
He's really bad this episode.
She has been bad the past 2 episodes. Whenever she deals with her ex-husband.
So yeah, here's the thing. Here, let me go ahead. She goes ahead and has John Henry Irons put in a security system to go ahead and scan their faces. And the first thing she says is that it's going to be unnecessary for Kyle to have his face scanned for the security system. He doesn't need a way in. And then later on, because Sarah has a dinner with her father, and they go ahead and talk about why she's in trouble for lying last week about a party. She also mentions that a security system was put in, and I don't even know if she says John Henry did it, but
no, yes, he does, because he asks this John Henry guy, what is John? Is this John Henry guy know anything about?
A little bit, yeah. So later on, he brings Lana a coffee and goes ahead and looks around the office and notices security cameras in here too. So who'd you have that put in? And she just snaps at him. Oh, well, it's really none of your business, Kyle. All it is you going ahead and conflating your ego to go ahead and try to weasel your way into my life when you don't need to be. And so thank you for the coffee, Kyle. And she's horrible.
Sarah, she goes and she yells at Sarah, because like, why did you tell your dad about my business? It's none of his business. You've already told. She's like, gee, Mom, just give me a list of what I can and cannot say around here anymore, because And then Sarah says like, you're selfish, and you're like, no, I'm not selfish. Like, no, maybe this is the reason why Dad cheated on you.
Yeah, because they're both getting heated.
And then she slaps Sarah. So Sarah goes in her room, but I think Sarah actually sneaks out.
She does, because later on, after the what happens with Lois and what's her name?
Chloe?
Chloe. Yeah, I think Chloe. After whatever we'll talk about that in a second. But Chloe and
the better Chloe.
Chloe and what's his name? Geez, we just said it. Kyle. Yes, they're eating at the diner, and then suddenly Sarah walks in. They were going to go ahead and relax back at her place, but when Sarah comes in, he says, let's go ahead and make a rain check on that. And he goes over to her because she's crying. Her mom slapped her, which in this generation is...
sorry. It's not Chloe. It's Chrissy.
Chrissy. Apologies, Chrissy.
Yes,
so yeah, that's the drama there. The other drama is the story behind Bruno Mannheim, because Chrissy is following it, and Lois keeps tagging herself along. She's avoiding chemo by going with Chrissy on, oh, you got a location? Let's go. Wait a minute, is there anything going on? And Chrissy lies, says no. And Lois is able to track her down by avoiding chemo. And pretty much Lois admits that the whole thing about chemo is that it's scary. It's very scary. And she isn't scared of doing that. She's scared of losing herself, losing everything about herself. But she knows that she has to face it. She understands. And that's what I love about this show.
Now,
I love that people are able to face the problems they have, the flaws, and overcome, because that's what you need to do in life. Yes, you have to overcome so much, and that's what they're dealing with in this show. I think it's great.
Yes, but the more important thing is that Kyle has to get over his feelings for Lana. Lana's gonna have a booty call with John Henry. They're slowly setting it up again. This time, again, they're kind of flirting a little bit. Yeah, and that's why Kyle's been so distraught because he saw him at the boy's birthday party. So her basically flirting back and forth with John Henry, and I hope Natalie speaks up and says, "Dad, leave this one alone," because I do not want to see those two dating. John deserves better than Lana, who is basically doesn't just at least she's the worst character.
She's getting really bad. Really bad.
They pretty much butchered her character.
I don't think it's butchered. It's with her getting in the position of mayor, she's gotten too big and she needs knocked down a few pegs. But
she's also a bad example for Sarah.
Oh yeah. Listen, we talked about Sarah and how she was being last season, I believe. Or was it the first season? Might have been last season. Because she had a really kind of bitchy streak there for a while.
Yeah, towards Jordan.
People have to grow. They have to grow, and she has. She still has some problems sometimes. I think that she was very disrespectful to her mother as well, and it's not a question of right or wrong. She was disrespectful to her, but then her mother went ahead and pushed it too far. So it's just...
Actually, no, this episode, I think Sarah was in line.
I think Sarah's going to try to go live with her dad. I think that's what's going to happen. Because Lana tries to apologize at the door, but she's not there.
They're going to do that. I guarantee you, they'll do that, and they'll have Jonathan slip in.
What?
John Henry, sorry.
Oh, yeah, John. Yeah, John Henry. Maybe. John Henry isn't a bad guy either.
No, but I feel
he deserves better.
Yeah.
Also, there is a little drama between him and his daughter because his daughter wants to do something nice for Lois. The watch that she designed for her mother, she wants to go ahead and engrave because it already has her name, but she wants to go ahead and engrave Jonathan and Jordan's name onto it and give it to Lois. And John Henry is struggling with that idea because that's his wife's, obviously. And it's hard to watch the woman that looks like the woman you loved go through this.
Part 2.
Yeah. And so he goes ahead and apologizes for how he was acting about the idea of giving that as a gift. And again, this show it makes you feel that way. People face their troubles and they're able to move forward. You're always going to have something that's going to weigh you down, that's going to hold you back. But persevering through that is what this show goes ahead and exemplifies. And I just love it so much. I'm so thrilled that it's back.
We forgot to mention a big gloss over a lot in the very beginning. We do get to hear Jenna Dewan's sweet voice is Lucy Lane because Lois tells everybody at the beginning of this episode that she has cancer, including her dad.
Everybody knows now.
And now her dad, basically awesome actor Dylan Walsh, he basically calls out Clark and says, you have to put your foot down. You cannot, Lois will hide from this. And she doesn't care about how she'll basically not want to do anything. He says, you got to work with me on this, buddy. So, you're gonna see him more heavily involved in this season,
which is good because I like him too. But that's pretty much it. Another solid episode of Superman and Lois.
We also get to see. We learn a few more things. We learn more about the actual the doctor, that's working for Bruno Mannheim. We also learned, basically that we see Animal floating in another tank again, and he's conscious. And
we know what he's being pumped with now: Superman's blood.
Yep, that's why this episode is called "In Cold Blood."
Yeah, no, it's very good. So yeah, that's it. If you're not watching Superman and Lois, you are making a mistake.
I gotta ask you, when you saw Clark wake up from his dream, holy crap, did he look different than he normally does?
How?
He sleeps like Superman. How his hair was styled, everything?
Oh, yeah. Well, he can't help it. He has Kryptonian hair.
I know, but usually they style when he's Clark. They style different. He takes his glasses off.
You ever think about that? Kryptonian hair has to be stronger than normal hair, but it would still fall out of his head and stuff. It would still, he still shaves. So that's an indestructible substance that you just have going through the world. So let's say you took a strand of Superman's hair and you decided
those vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, you decided to knot it to something. You couldn't, if you were able to do that, you'd have something that you could go ahead and make. I mean, I don't know. There's got to be some silly storyline with that.
Yes, we're gonna get Nuclear Man soon.
Anyway, that's it. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We love this show, and we hope you're watching it. If you're not, you're missing out, because this is the best. I'm thinking this is the best just live action Superman that we really have.
It's been a while since Dean Cain's Superman.
But I like this more than that, honestly.
Actually,
it's not a knock on Dean Cain at all, and I love that Lois.
The reason I'll say this is getting better for me is because you're showing Superman being Superman, doing Superman things.
Yep, and I love him being a family man.
Yes, like I said, but I still prefer the Dean Cain show because it was more Superman and Lois. He was Superman all the time. It wasn't Clark and Lois. Like this.
Actually, it was Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. What are you talking about?
Yes, but I'm saying he was less Clark and more Superman all the time over there on that show. And he talked to his parents. It was more. It's the John Byrne. It's the post-crisis. You gotta enjoy it. Also, this one has become more Clark, but I do like the fact it's slowly shifting this season to being Superman.
Yeah, he's doing quite a bit of Superman. But we do have to go ahead and go. So please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Ko-Fi if you can. We're going live in just a moment with Mendo. Don't miss that. So, from Froggy and myself, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Up and away.